I've been using the Pixel 10 Pro XL for the last week or so, and I wanted to share my thoughts on the device, how my user experience has been, and being an iPhone user, what are some of the things that surprise me and hurdles when it comes to switching, and if I think you should pick one up. This is a review of the Pixel 10 Pro XL from an iPhone user's perspective. Hey everyone, it's Andrew, and welcome back to the channel. For the past year, I've been using the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and this is my first Pixel. I've heard the Pixel is the iPhone of Android for years now, and even in the way Google announced the Pixel this year, I feel like the demographic is iPhone users like myself. The general consensus is that the iPhone really hasn't changed for the last few years, and so there is a real niche out there that wants to switch from iPhone, that really are kind of sick of Apple giving us the same product every year and wanting something different. I just want to give my perspective as an iPhone user, just so if you do want to switch, you're kind of aware of things before you make the switch. So let's dive right into it, starting with the design. Just right off the bat, it feels like an iPhone. And do I like the design? Well, yeah, I do. The camera is probably the most noticeable difference between the two, and I think the Pixel wins in terms of camera design. I think it's beautiful, and it's really grown on me since I've started using my Pixel. It is on the little bit heavier side of 8.2 ounces, but it feels very premium. It kind of reminds me of the iPhone 14 Pro lineup. It's just very classy and a very premium phone. So it's not as durable as natural titanium, and it is an aluminum frame, so I do get a little bit worried with that when it comes to scratching and dropping it. I have an iPhone 16 with an aluminum frame, and I have some chips in it, so I don't know if this is the most durable phone. It does have Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, and when it comes to that kind of stuff, is it better than Ceramic Shield? I have no idea. I don't want to drop my phone to find out. It comes in 4 different colors: Moonstone, Jade, Porcelain, and Obsidian, and I feel like I made the right choice with Moonstone. It is a very beautiful, classy color. Sometimes it looks gray, sometimes it looks blue, depending on the lighting that you're in, and I think it is a really nice competitor against natural titanium, which is my favorite color in an iPhone. I decided to go with the XL because I'm just used to the Pro Max at this point, and I just feel like Pro level battery just isn't quite good enough for me, so I always go with the Pro Max, and with this, the XL, I think is a really nice phone in hand. It feels like an iPhone. All right, on to the display. So it's a 6.8-inch Super Actua display. It's an OLED display. It has 120 Hertz, so it's very smooth. It gets up to 2200 nits HDR and gets up to 3300 nits peak brightness. When I first got it, I went out the next day and just took a lot of photos and was outside on a super blindingly bright day, and I could see everything on the phone. It was really good for that. I love that the Apple TV app is on Android now, so it's been great to watch shows on there and catching up on MLS games as well. It was actually really high quality to watch it on my Pixel. One of the sucky parts of switching is you lose access to your iTunes library. So all the movies that I've bought on the Apple Store for years, it does go away. Maybe there's a workaround for it. Someone in the comments let me know, but for some reason I can't access them on the Apple TV app even though I'm logged in. So that's just kind of an annoying thing that maybe it's a reason I don't want to switch. I love that the front camera is just a dot. I think it looks really good. I do think Dynamic Island has some great use cases, so I kind of did miss that a little bit. Now, a quick word from today's sponsor, Taurus. You're probably going to want a case for your new Pixel. This is the Taurus O-Stand Q3 Spin Case, a clean, minimalist case that's perfect for your brand new Pixel. It's slim but extremely durable, with military-grade drop protection, clicky buttons, and raised corners to keep your screen and camera safe. I like this style because it looks clean, but it actually protects your phone. On the back, you've got the Taurus original rotating kickstand. They're the first case company to create this design. It spins a full 360 degrees, so you can set your phone up in portrait or landscape, perfect for watching movies or YouTube or anything like that. The stand also doubles as a super strong magnet for the Pixel Snap accessories. Pair it with something like the Taurus power bank, and it locks on rock solid, so it's not going anywhere. And the best part, it comes at a great price with plenty of color and style options as well if you want to explore outside of this case. Check it out in the pinned comment and the video's description. Now on to performance, and we're talking about the Google Tensor G5 chip. Look, I'm not going to get into benchmarks like that, I'm gonna talk more about my day-to-day performance and what I think of it, and it performed really solid. I was expecting it to be super laggy or janky or stuff like that, and it was very smooth. Like I said, opening up the phone is really quick. Going into apps is very nice. It's got smooth animations. The display is very smooth. Android 16 seems pretty good. I will say that it is unfortunate that iOS 26 is coming out around this time. Maybe if it was being compared to iOS 18, it'd be different, but iOS 26 is literally the smoothest version of iOS I have ever experienced. It's so fast. App animations are so clean. The liquid glass is stunning. And so it is unfortunate because I am comparing it to that. And it does feel like this is a little bit dated when you're using Android 16. Social media apps perform great as well. The only thing is I noticed when I scroll through Twitter, there's like a little bit of a lag. It feels like the page is waiting for me to swipe, so it slows down. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just Twitter's not optimized for Android. I feel like I experienced that on my S25 Ultra as well. But YouTube is really good. Instagram's really good. TikTok's good. All of the main apps for Google services are great as well, like Gmail and Google Maps. I haven't had any issues there, and I really haven't had any bug issues as well. Even editing in CapCut has been great, and I usually edit photos on my iPhone using either the Photos app or Lightroom, and I've actually just been using Google Photos, and I'm impressed with how good it is for editing photos. Now, when it comes to all of the AI features, I just feel like Google has so much to offer, and a week of testing and being with the device just isn't enough to test every AI feature. But I will say using Gemini in the time that I did was way better than Siri. That's kind of obvious. And using ChatGPT on my phone has been really good as well. And apparently you get 7 years of updates. Now for battery, marketing says 24 hours plus battery and 100 hours of extreme battery saver when that's turned on. And I gotta be honest, I don't know about that. So the first couple days, battery life was pretty terrible for me. I had one instance where I didn't really even use my Pixel that day. I wasn't using any phone. I just was kind of away with my son all day. And it said I used my phone for 2 hours. That's it, just 2 hours of on-screen time. I ended the day with like less than 30% or 20% battery. And I was just shocked. I had never experienced that bad of battery life. But after indexing and really after a week right now, I'm starting to see that the Pixel's battery is improving. And it's got great charging speeds all across the board. So whether it is with Pixel Snap or with wired charging, it's really good. So I have the Pixel Snap charging stand. It's a Qi 2 certified charger, and it gets up to 25 watts with charging. And just to know, every accessory that I've tried with Pixel Snap has been really good as well. Wallet, car mount, tripod, charger, all great. Magnets are super strong. And I really think this is a little way of giving an iPhone user something that they really love. Like a lot of iPhone users talk highly of MagSafe. Having it on an Android phone, having it on a Pixel, which is so much like an iPhone, it doesn't feel like it's much of a switch. I have to be honest. And it has fast charging up to 70% in about 30 minutes, which is pretty insane. So you have to use a 40-watt charger. Now, when it comes to camera, one of my favorite things to test with any new phone, I got a day out in Tampa, a couple hours of just observing the city, taking photos, and really enjoying the camera. It's a Pro triple rear camera system. You get a 50 megapixel wide camera, a 48 megapixel ultra wide with macro focus, and a 48 megapixel 5x telephoto lens. You get ProRes zoom all the way up to 100x, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But overall, the camera is impressive. And here's some of the best photos that I got. I really love shooting at 5x and 10x. That's where I really landed on. I really like that. Going all the way up to 100x is actually impressive. I know it's using AI, but I will say, It is much better than what the S25 Ultra can pump out, and obviously way better than the iPhone. Someone did ask for me to do it with the Moon, so here's the Moon. And overall, I've really enjoyed using Google Photos to edit on this phone. I've kind of landed on the filter of honey. I just like how that looks. Also, here's some night shots I took. Now, I've always heard video on Pixels aren't the greatest, and I gotta be honest, I really wasn't impressed, but it could be my fault. Maybe I need to learn more of how to adjust the settings in my Pixel, but I wasn't impressed. I didn't really like the color profile. It could have been the day, it was a little cloudy, but I just didn't think that what it spat out just initially looked even close to as good as an iPhone. Now, you can record in 4K and 8K, which I didn't really test out. And even if I uploaded it, it's probably not going to show much of a difference on this YouTube video. As of right now, my iPhone is my dedicated camera for my YouTube channel. It's even recording this right now. I was never going to switch from using my iPhone for video. And so that's just me as a creator and not for everyone I know, but I wasn't really impressed with the video. 20x zoom, you can go all the way up to that. It looks pretty bad. I did a zoom test comparing that with the iPhone and the S25 Ultra, and it didn't do really well in my opinion. But that's camera and video. That's kind of my initial thought of testing. I will say, even though I'm kind of disappointed with video, I think the camera is really good. I really like Pixel's colors and the natural bokeh on their photos. It's really good. So I would say they're very sharp, have great color, good contrast, great exposure. I didn't really have to edit much. I really like that. Now, doing some comparison with the iPhone and what if you're stuck in the Apple ecosystem, what do you do? So I will say Google made it very easy this year to switch. Having eSIM on my iPhone 16 Pro Max, right when you open up your Pixel, it has scan this barcode to switch to eSIM on your Pixel. And the process was very simple and easy. And another thing it has going for it is it really does feel like an iPhone. I will say I don't think third-party apps are quite up to the task. I really don't love how notifications are set up. One thing I want to highly praise is the keyboard. And I will say haptics on this feel even better than the iPhone. I was really impressed by that right away. And customization used to be a huge topic between iPhone and Android. I actually kind of think iPhone has better customizations with app colors. The only thing is you can't really like theme it. So maybe that'll come in the future, but I think that it has really good customization capabilities. I also really like that I have Apple Music on this device, so I don't have to cancel my Apple Music subscription or anything like that. And guess what? No one in my family has cared that I switched to Android. It's not that big of a deal. So for me, some hurdles that I've gone through is mail. So I still have an @me account, which is a old Mac email, which it just can't be put into Gmail, unfortunately. There's a workaround where I can just log into iCloud, but it's pretty janky and not a great experience. So I've just been using that email on my Mac. Apple Notes is pretty important to me as well, and reminders. And I actually like how the Notes app for the Pixel is kind of combined with a to-do list as well. Transferring photos is also kind of a pain to my Mac. If I want to edit on there or upload a video or something like that, it's pretty annoying. And like I said, I don't think I could make this my creator device, so I'd always kind of have an iPhone unless I upgrade to a pro camera. So I actually think you can work with both. I think a lot of people are like, you have to be all in one ecosystem, and I actually don't think that's true. So having my eSIM in this phone, I haven't had to use my iPhone, but I also still pick up my iPad and use it. Like, there's no law against that. You can use your Mac as well. If you do make the full switch, you do lose the Apple Watch, which maybe there'll be an app on Android one day to do that. I think a lot of people would love to have the Apple Watch Ultra that use Android, but you do lose it for now. AirPods, connecting them via Bluetooth has been really great. I mean, they work fine for me. I have found myself missing iMessage. I think the iMessage app is better than what is on the Pixel. I might have just been conditioned because Siri is so bad to not use AI on device, and I'm not using everything Google anyway, so it's a little bit tricky, but I barely use Gemini throughout the week. And there's like a ton of different AI features that Google has that I just just haven't gotten to use yet. There's like the thing to help you take a photo. That takes away me actually taking the photo. I don't want help from AI. I want to take the photo myself. And that has nothing to do with iPhone. If they introduced a feature like that as well, I wouldn't use it. My wife actually really liked the Pixel. She uses all Google apps on her iPhone. And so for her, making the switch is a lot easier. Whereas for me, I use all iOS apps mostly. I think it could cut into the iPhone market a little bit more if it was a little bit cheaper. I would have liked to have seen this at $10.99, maybe the Pro at $9.99. It starts at $11.99 at 256 gigabytes of storage. I didn't do a trade-in for this, I just bought it outright. But if I were to trade in my 16 Pro Max, I would get $7.99 back in trade-in credit, which is a pretty good deal in my opinion. So you can see here, they're trying to get those Pro users to switch to Pixel, and that's why they're giving them pretty good trade-in credit. All right, so the big question of this video is, should you switch? If you're an iPhone user, is it time for you to call it a day, give up on the Apple, and switch to the Pixel? If you're looking for something new and you're just really bored with iPhone, but you still want that familiarity, then I would definitely switch. I really would. If you're really bored of iPhone and you don't want to be stuck in the Apple ecosystem anymore, then why not? You'll probably miss some things, but that's mostly because all of the things that you'll miss shine throughout the Apple ecosystem. I would say though, if you're on the fence and you're just not sure, I would wait for the iPhone 17 lineup just to be announced, just to see the different features. I want to do a comparison video between the 17 Pro Max and the Pixel Pro XL. I think if this was any different time of the year for me, I would switch. I would. And I'm kind of in this space right now where I just want to try new things and I'm really enjoying it. Like I fully went into this. I pretty much downloaded every app onto my Pixel that I use day to day, and I've really enjoyed the experience. It is a little bit hard to make the switch when a new iPhone is looming right around the corner. Now, my eSIM isn't gonna come out, so I'm not switching back to the 16 Pro Max. I'm done with that phone for now. I'm gonna wait to see what happens with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I'll probably be putting my eSIM into that phone just to test it out. And after that, I'll have a more concrete decision on which one I'm officially going to switch to. I just wanted to give you my perspective as an iPhone user. If you have the Pixel 10 Pro XL, let us know in the comments what your experience has been like. Or if you're thinking about switching from iPhone, tell us why. Why do you want to switch? And honestly, if it's something that you really want to do, trade in your iPhone and just get the new Pixel. Like I said, I'll be reviewing the iPhone 17 series as soon as I can, so subscribe for that. As always, guys, thanks for watching. God bless, and I will see you on the next video.